Hey Raiders Nation, welcome back. We've got a lot to break down today as we head into the final stretch of the NFL season, and the focus is squarely on the Las Vegas Raiders and some major coaching news that is going to shake things up for the team moving forward. As we step into 2026, Raider fans have had to endure a roller coaster of a season in 2025, and I know it hasn't been easy. It's been one of those years that tested patience, loyalty, and endurance as a fan base. And there have been plenty of frustrating moments, from the struggles on offense to some defensive challenges that left us scratching our heads. This season has felt like an uphill climb. But now, as we look ahead, the conversation is shifting, and one of the biggest stories in the organization is the departure of Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator who has been with the Raiders since 2022. This Sunday marks his final game with the Silver and Black as they face the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 18. And it's an opportunity to reflect on his time here, what he brought to the table, and why it's time for a new chapter. Patrick Graham's tenure has spanned multiple coaching regimes, from the days when Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler brought him in, through shifts under Antonio Pearson and Tom Telesco, and most recently working under Pete Carroll and John Spytek. That kind of turnover is not easy for any coach to navigate, and it has shaped much of his time here. While there are fans who have appreciated his strategic mind and defensive schemes, there are also those who have questioned certain calls, personnel decisions, and the overall performance of the defense during his tenure. Looking at the numbers alone, it's true that the Raiders have struggled at times on defense, giving up more points per game than fans would like and facing heavy workloads due to a struggling offense. However, context matters. The team hasn't invested heavily in defensive talent, which means Graham has often had to work with what was available, and in many ways, he's been asked to do more with less. That makes his contribution all the more noteworthy because he has consistently tried to instill structure and discipline in a unit that has faced constant adversity. It's important to recognize that, despite the ups and downs, Graham has shown a commitment to teaching, to developing young players, and to keeping the defense competitive even in challenging circumstances. Now, there are several reasons why this change is happening, and it isn't a reflection of a lack of talent or effort on Graham's part. First, his contract with the Raiders is coming to an end, which means there's no new deal in place for next season. While the organization gave him a raise during the offseason as a show of confidence, the reality is that without a new contract, his time with Las Vegas was always limited. Graham is now looking ahead to new opportunities, and in the NFL, coaches with his knowledge and reputation rarely stay unemployed for long. He has experience across multiple systems, has been considered for head coaching opportunities, and is known as a smart and adaptable coach who can contribute to a variety of teams in different ways. For fans who respect his work, it's worth noting that this move doesn't diminish his abilities or his contributions to the Raiders. His defensive units have often been the backbone of the team, keeping games close even when the offense struggled, and his influence on player development has been significant. Another major factor in this transition is the expected changes at the head coach level. Pete Carroll's tenure with the Raiders has been under intense scrutiny, and while the timing of any decision about his future is still unfolding, a new head coach would inevitably want to bring in their own staff. That means new coordinators, both offensive and defensive, which aligns with the organization's goal of resetting the team and starting fresh. It's a common practice in the NFL. A new head coach wants to shape the culture, philosophy, and system from the ground up. While it's difficult to see someone leave who has contributed so much, it's also part of the natural ebb and flow of football, especially when a team is looking to rebuild, reshape, and position itself for long-term success. Graham has always been respected within coaching circles, and his reputation as a teacher and strategist means he will likely have multiple opportunities waiting for him, even as the Raiders move in a new direction. When evaluating his overall performance, it's essential to consider the context of the Raiders' environment over the last 4 seasons. He has had to navigate a constantly changing roster, coaching staff turnover, and challenges related to talent acquisition and development. Despite all of this, Graham's defenses have often been disciplined, competitive, and resilient, even when the odds were stacked against them. There were moments when his schemes helped the Raiders stay in games that could have otherwise been lost by large margins, and his ability to adjust week to week game plan effectively, and teach players to perform at a high level should not be overlooked. While the record might not reflect perfection, the underlying performance and effort have been commendable. For a coach who has been with multiple regimes and has had to adapt to constantly shifting strategies and philosophies, that's no small feat. Looking at the bigger picture, Graham's departure is part of a larger organizational reset that includes evaluating personnel, rethinking schemes, and preparing for a new leadership era in Las Vegas. It's a chance for the Raiders to bring in fresh ideas, a new vision, and a system that aligns with the direction they want to take as a franchise. For the team and the fan base, this change is an opportunity to start over with a clean slate while still respecting and appreciating the contributions of a coach who has given his all during a transitional period. Graham's reputation in the league means he won't be out of work for long, and Raiders Nation can take comfort in knowing that his next role will likely allow him to continue doing what he does best: coaching, teaching, and building defensive units that compete at a high level. In addition to the coaching transitions, the Raiders' focus is also on strategic planning for the upcoming draft, free agency, and the overall roster construction. With the team poised to have a high draft pick, this offseason promises to be one of the most significant in recent memory. The combination of new leadership and strategic roster moves creates a sense of anticipation and excitement for Raider fans, who have endured a challenging year but are now looking forward to possibilities that could shape the franchise for years to come. Every decision, from the head coach hire to the coordinator selections, will have a ripple effect on the team's culture, identity, and performance on the field. It's a moment of transformation, and while change can be difficult, it's also essential for growth and long-term success in the league. As we prepare for the final game of the season against Kansas City, it's a fitting time to reflect on Patrick Graham's contributions, acknowledge his efforts, and recognize the challenges he faced while leading a defense through 4 turbulent seasons. His ability to remain focused, to teach, and to instill principles on the field is something that will carry over into whatever opportunity he pursues next. The Raiders, meanwhile, are moving toward a new chapter, one that promises fresh perspectives, new leadership, and an opportunity to build a team that can compete at the highest level. This balance between respecting the past and embracing the future is a key theme for Raider Nation as we head into 2026, and it sets the stage for an offseason that could redefine the team's trajectory and identity for years to come. As we move beyond Patrick Graham's final game, the focus shifts to what the Raiders will look like heading into the offseason and the potential transformations that could define the team's future. There's no question that this has been a turbulent period for the franchise. Coaching changes, inconsistent play, and a roster that has struggled to find identity have created a whirlwind of challenges, but they also present opportunities. With a high draft pick in hand and the ability to reshape the coaching staff, the Raiders have a chance to start over in a meaningful way. This means new leadership, fresh ideas, and a renewed focus on building a team that can compete consistently at the top level of the NFL. For Raider Nation, that possibility alone is exciting because it suggests that the franchise is prepared to make decisive moves to correct course and build toward sustained success. Heading into the offseason, the Raiders' front office faces a series of critical decisions, starting with the head coach search. Whoever steps into that role will have the authority to bring in their own coordinators, design schemes, and establish the culture they want in the locker room. It's a clean slate opportunity, one that allows the franchise to pivot, evolve, and address long-standing issues on both sides of the ball. This kind of transition is not just about changing personnel. It's about setting a strategic direction, establishing a clear vision for the team, and aligning coaching philosophies with the talents and strengths of the players on the roster. The new head coach will need to evaluate the roster, decide which veterans fit the plan moving forward, and determine where reinforcements are required. This creates a domino effect in terms of staff, player acquisitions, and draft strategy, making this offseason one of the most consequential in recent Raiders history. Patrick Graham's departure highlights the broader theme of change. While Graham is respected and has shown skill and adaptability, a new coaching regime typically requires a fresh start. The new defensive coordinator brought in under a new head coach will likely implement their own schemes, play calling, and strategy, creating a shift in how the Raiders approach games. For fans, this is an opportunity to witness innovation, new tactics, and potentially a revitalized defensive unit that can complement a reworked offense. Change at this level can be difficult in the short term, but history shows that strategic leadership transitions often produce long-term benefits, especially when a team is committed to building a culture of accountability, discipline, and high-level performance. The Raiders have the foundation to make this transformation meaningful, and the combination of high draft picks, potential free agent additions, and a new coaching staff could set the stage for a significant turnaround. One of the critical elements of this process will be talent evaluation. The Raiders need to identify players who fit the new vision, those who can perform at a high level within the proposed schemes, and those who have the potential to develop into difference makers. Graham has always been a coach focused on player development, but moving forward, the team will need to continue that focus while also adding new pieces that can elevate performance. The balance between developing existing talent and acquiring impactful additions will be key to determining how quickly the Raiders can compete at the top of their division. It's not just about bringing in big names. It's about finding players who complement one another, fit the scheme, and can execute consistently under the guidance of a coherent coaching philosophy. The quarterback position, offensive line, and skill positions will be heavily scrutinized during the offseason. The offensive struggles of 2025 have made it clear that improvement is necessary, and the new coaching staff will need to address these areas strategically. Offensive efficiency, ball control, and limiting turnovers will be priorities, and the interplay between the offense and a newly structured defense will determine the team's overall success. Defensive adjustments will also be central, as the Raiders need to build a unit that can withstand sustained pressure, force turnovers, and create game-changing moments. The lessons from Graham's tenure, discipline, preparation, and adaptability, will serve as a foundation, but the new staff will undoubtedly look to implement fresh ideas to elevate performance and ensure consistency throughout games. In addition to coaching and player evaluation, Raider Nation can expect an offseason full of speculation, analysis, and anticipation. Discussions about potential head coaches, new coordinators, and draft strategy will dominate conversations, and fans will be eager to see how the organization positions itself for the future. With the number 1 overall draft pick within reach, the Raiders have the opportunity to select a transformative player who could immediately impact the team. Pairing this talent with the right coaching philosophy and strategic planning could provide the foundation for a competitive team that is capable of contending in the division and making deep playoff runs in the coming years. It's an exciting time because the possibilities are nearly limitless, and every decision will carry weight in shaping the team's identity for the foreseeable future. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Speculation is running wild in the NFL world as whispers circulate that Leonard Williams could be making a significant move to the Las Vegas Raiders. Sources close to the team suggest that the veteran defensive tackle, known for his relentless pass-rushing ability and solid run-stopping skills, may be poised to make an immediate impact on the Raiders' defensive front. If true, this acquisition would mark a pivotal shift in the team's defensive strategy, potentially elevating them to a new level of dominance in the trenches. Williams, a player with a reputation for both versatility and consistency, has long been a force on the defensive line. Analysts point out that his combination of size, strength, and agility makes him a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and running backs alike. While the Raiders have shown flashes of defensive potential in recent seasons, they have struggled to find a true game-changer on the interior line, someone capable of demanding double teams and freeing up linebackers to make plays. A move for Williams could address that exact need, instantly transforming their defensive identity. Insiders suggest that the Raiders' front office has been quietly exploring options to bolster the defensive line for some time. With Leonard Williams potentially available, the team may see a rare opportunity to secure a proven talent without mortgaging the future. Fans have reacted with excitement to the rumor, envisioning a defense capable of disrupting high-powered offenses and giving the team a more intimidating presence on every down. Social media chatter has been nonstop, with supporters speculating how Williams' arrival could affect not only the Raiders' defensive schemes, but also the overall morale of the locker room. Of course, with any rumor, there is a degree of uncertainty. Contract negotiations, salary cap implications, and team fit all remain unanswered questions. Still, the mere possibility of Williams joining the Raiders has ignited conversations about how the team could shift from being competitive to truly formidable. Coaches are said to be excited about the potential alignment options and how Williams' skill set could complement existing stars on the roster. If the deal were to materialize, it would instantly give the Raiders a headline-grabbing addition and a talking point that could dominate sports media coverage for weeks. While no official announcements have been made, the speculation itself has already injected energy into the fan base. Whether Leonard Williams will suit up for the Raiders remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The idea of him lining up on that defensive front is enough to spark a wave of anticipation and hope among supporters who are eager to see their team make a serious statement in the league. For now, the NFL world watches closely, waiting for the next development in what could be one of the most intriguing defensive moves of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.